Honorable President RWSI Air Marshal A.S. Butolaji, DG AIB Yugandarji, Joint Secretary Ministry of Civil Aviation Asangbaji, B.S. Singh Devji, and respected members of the Rotary Wing Society of India, I am very much honored today to join you in the inauguration of Heli Power India Summit for the second day, which deals with the civilian helicopter sector. Firstly, I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to the Rotary Wing Society of India for bringing together such a dynamic gathering of leaders in the Rotary Wing sector. Amid the rapid growth of India's aviation sector, my top priority is ensuring our skies are safer and secure and more comfortable. This is where I see Rotary Wing Society's role as both prominent and very essential. This is over its 26 impactful years, RWSI has done commendable work in promoting helicopters as a safe and effective mode of travel, establishing itself as a driving force in this industry. The fact that over 1,300 aviation professionals deeply dedicated to the field have joined RWSI speaks volumes about the society's impactful work. I once again congratulate the RWSI for all the amazing work that it has been doing and also intends to do in the future. And I am really pleased that today we are honoring individuals who have contributed to the helicopter industry with their exceptional skills and dedication, and our helicopter pilots definitely deserve this recognition and encouragement. Since taking on the role of Civil Aviation Minister, I have witnessed that aviation professionals are not only mere skilled experts, but they're very passionate people. They're passionate about aviation and pushing the industry to new heights. RWSI embodies this spirit, and I appreciate the society for organizing this 9th Heli Power Summit, which is a testament to their dedication over the past 18 years. I see this as a very valuable opportunity for the helicopter industry, bringing together industry leaders and regulators and discussing various issues that needs resolving. This is a significant platform to connect and explore advanced technologies, innovative systems, and safety devices that are shaping the future of our industry. And I'm proud that this is the only dedicated civil and military helicopter event in the whole of South Asia region, highlighting India's commitment to elevating the helicopter industry. Today, we are not only just acknowledging the immense potential of India's helicopter industry, but we are also coming together to harness the potential and integrate helicopters into India's aviation growth story. I don't envision a separate parallel helicopter industry operating in isolation. Instead, my vision is to seamlessly integrate air travel ecosystem where fixed-wing aircraft, helicopters, eVTOLs, and UAVs, they all work in harmony to create a more efficient and connected India. With this perspective, I am prioritizing the development of aviation infrastructure across the country, focusing particularly on helicopters because of their unique game-changing potential. Since the first helicopter took flight in 1953, our growth has been very modest, to be honest. Despite growth potential, the helicopter business in India has faced challenges like lack of adequate infrastructure in terms of helipads and landing sites. It was surprising for me to learn that we currently have only one licensed heliport in the whole of the country, which is located in Rohini. There are many helipads or many buildings which are acting like heliports, but licensed one, we just have one, and it shows the vast opportunity that is there. I know that there are a lot of enlightened people that are sitting here when it comes to helicopter industry. Some have flown the helicopters also more than I have been in the helicopter itself. I just want to share with you some of the ideas that I have so that we are all on the same page and we are moving in the same direction as a team. And to put things into perspective, India has about 250 civilian helicopters, serving over 140 crore people of the country. And in comparison, if you take Brazil, over 2,700 helicopters for a population of around 20 crores. Belgium, which would probably be around the size of Punjab, operates around 650 helicopters. This stark difference highlights the urgent need to expand our helicopter fleet and helipad infrastructure to meet the connectivity demands of our vast and diverse nation. Under the visionary leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, we are committed to democratizing the air travel, transforming the dream of flying into a reality. And as the aviation minister, I recognize the vital role helicopters can play in realizing this vision. The ability of helicopters to take off and land vertically with minimum infrastructure requirements compared to fixed wing aircraft and their ability to hover in the air make them very, very versatile. Capabilities of a helicopter help in accessing difficult terrains to provide life-saving medical services or reaching the areas affected by natural disasters. I realized this potential during the recent floods in Vijayawada also, where the whole city was blocked with a lot of water on the streets and there was no way possible to reach out to the homes. And the way we are reaching out the relief material, especially the food, was with the help of helicopters. And the surprising thing was that the helicopters were again provided by the military. They were coming from the army. So the potential to have each state also to have their own disaster relief systems which include the helicopters is humongous. And for this I was looking at international comparative data and I found that Japan has around 40 plus civilian helicopters dedicated to rescue operations alone. And for surveillance they have another 90 helicopters dedicated for that. While here in India we have around 20 plus with the BSF and 3 plus with the Central Armed Police Forces. And if we compare global fleet utilization of helicopters, then for emergency medical services, the global average is 18%, whereas for India it is just 1%. Last week, helicopters under the leadership of Prime Minister, we have dedicated government heli medical emergency service, the HEMS, to the first one of its kind in the public sector to the country in the state of Uttarakhand for the AIIMS Rishikesh. And I was also present in the inauguration alongside the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, and it was a very historic moment, adding helicopters into the medical ambulance services. And with joint efforts of Ministry of Civil Aviation and the state government, people with a radius of 100 miles from the AIIMS Rishikesh would get the service of air ambulance for free. And importantly, critical care in the life-saving golden hour. The potential for HEMS, the Helicopter Emergency Medical Services, in India is immense, yet we are only beginning to tap it. In my discussions with Pawan Hans, which is our stakeholder in this industry, I identified a tremendous opportunity to expand HEMS along our national highways and expressways. Deploying over 50 HEMS units across the routes is not only feasible, but essential as they can offer life-saving support in critical emergencies. In fact, I would also take the example of our growing cities, the metropolitan cities like Delhi and Mumbai, where traffic congestion is also creating a major issue when it comes to addressing that golden hour time. This vision is achievable through a collaborative approach involving government support, CSR initiatives, and sometimes probably the insurance people also. Together, we can make HEMS a robust part of our healthcare infrastructure, bringing rapid medical assistance to areas that need it most. We are working to make helicopter services more accessible and turning them into a practical solution for the common man of this country. Pilgrimage by air through heli-tourism, one of the most successful interventions. Take for example the Kedarnath pilgrimage. When helicopter services began in 2004-2005 with Pawan Hans, it was just a single state-owned operator. Today the demand has surged to such an extent that 9 operators serve this route with DGCA managing time slots to keep up with the growing demand. More than 3 lakh passengers now fly to Kedarnath annually by helicopter, which is roughly 800 passengers per day on average, which is a very big number. Similarly, at Mata Vaishno Devi, over 5 lakh pilgrims chose helicopters for their journey every year. These numbers speak for the immense need and the potential that we have for expanding our helicopter services. And in India, they are also safe, quick and efficient for the people to travel. We are also committed to building more heliports across the country, and the government's emphasis is evident through the launch of dedicated UDAN scheme specifically for helicopters also. UDAN is the revolutionary scheme which the government of India has started under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, which is Ude Desh Ka Aam Nagrik. It was to create an efficient, affordable and convenient way of travel and connect the remotest parts of this country. We have expanded infrastructure like anything in the last 10 years. From 74 airports, we have grown up to 157 airports. But how do we connect them? That was where UDAN played a very key role. It was creating that viability gap funding for airlines, for helicopter services who are running in these routes so that they become viable to run. So UDAN is something which we are very proud of. We saw the effect it could have on the industry. Now UDAN was started in 2017 and it will end for 2027. That was how it was envisioned for 10 years. But seeing the potential that UDAN carries, we are extending it for another 10 years, and we are in the idea that we need to include more of these helicopter services and building up of heliports also into that program. So if you compare, I heard this suggestion also coming from the speakers earlier when it comes to building of these heliports. And it's such an easy task, I feel right now, where one airport itself costs around 1,000 crores, 2,000 crores for us to build. And every penny that you spend on one airport, I think you can create 100 heliports in the country with the amount of money you are spending on one airport itself. So it is not a very challenging task for us, but the idea and the vision should be there, and we definitely carry the vision that we need to build heliports across the country, across the length and breadth of the country. And in the last 10 years, we have witnessed a significant transformation, like I said, from the UDAN scheme. A 30-minute helicopter ride, which previously used to cost around 1.25 lakh to 1.5 lakhs, has been made much more affordable and accessible. With the implementation of the viability gap funding in the UDAN scheme, it has come down for a group of 5. If they're traveling, the price has come down to 30,000 and much less in many of the cases. And this was the vision that our Prime Minister had, where even the Hawai Chappalwala should be able to do the Hawai Yatra. UDAN operations involving helicopters have greatly reduced the travel time also. If you look at Himachal, Shimla to Kullu on road takes about 6.5 hours, whereas by helicopter it takes approximately 50 minutes. And on Uttarakhand, Dehradun to Pithoragarh, by road takes around 11.5 hours, whereas by helicopter it can be covered just under an hour. So I believe together we can unleash the potential that helicopters carry and position helicopters as an essential part of India's connectivity revolution that we are undergoing right now. As an industry, there are several critical areas we all need to collaborate upon. One of the foremost challenges is the high maintenance cost of rotary wing aircraft, or that's what I've heard from the industry. We must focus on reducing these costs by facilitating more for the maintenance, repair and overhaul. These facilities should improve in the country, and by building up our helicopter fleet and ensuring adequate MRO support, I think we can create a more sustainable and efficient operational environment for the operators. Additionally, establishing state-of-the-art training facilities, which was also flagged earlier, that is very, very crucial. Currently, we have only one operational helicopter pilot training academy in the country. Airbus, which is also trying to set up the H125 assembly line in the country, I have been talking to them and encouraging them to put up a parallel training academy also. And like earlier they were talking about, if someone is trying to manufacture a helicopter in India, definitely it becomes the responsibility for them to train the right set of people to operate that aircraft, to pilot that aircraft in the country. And not just that, other OEMs who are into this helicopter services, definitely they should strongly look into promoting the training academies in this country, and we as a ministry are going to encourage them more to do so in the future. And setting up helicopter facility, like I said, Airbus, we are trying to encourage them, and we have seen the facilities, what best they can do. Recently they have done for the Airbus 350, the regular aircraft, they have done wonderful facilities. If similar kind of facilities come for our helicopter network, I think that improves the number of pilots also that we have in the country, which kind of becomes a bottleneck in some places. We also need to make this career path more attractive to prospective helicopter pilots. I was in one of the seminars and discussions, I was asking why are not more people coming into becoming a helicopter pilots. They said the regular fleet, that is more attractive to become a commercial pilot than becoming this. So somewhere we need to address the practicality of this issue also. We need to make it more attractive for the young passionate people, that it is, if you come into the helicopter sector, it is even more exciting and enticing. So flying a rotary wing aircraft demands a unique set of skills, and I have tremendous respect for helicopter pilots, like I've been saying. We must prioritize professionalism and skill above all else. By focusing on onshore training and adherence to best practices, we will instill greater confidence in the public about helicopter travel as a reliable and secure mode of transportation. And we must foster a positive safety culture around helicopter operations. This was insightfully We had a presentation from our DG AIB Yugandarji, who has, through his experience, explained how the safety aspect needs to be addressed in the country. He has mentioned various number of points which I feel are very, very important, and from the ministry we are going to take them seriously. And one other thing that I would like to add on to it is that there is a pressing need to break the myth surrounding single engine helicopters also. Many people, for some reason mistakenly, they believe that single engine helicopters are less safer than the twin engine helicopters. Single engine helicopters are also designed with advanced technology and stringent safety standards, making them highly reliable for various operations. In fact, single engine helicopters have proven their capabilities in various environments, including medical health services, law enforcement and tourism, and they are most cost effective and easier to maintain also. So that if there is any misconception that they are very less safer than the twin engine counterparts, then that is one thing as an industry we should advocate to the people so that they feel more comfortable in traveling single engine helicopters also. And I must state that these helicopters undergo rigorous training, testing and certification process to ensure their reliability. Pilots operating single engine helicopters are trained to handle potential emergencies and have robust safety protocols in place. And one other thing that I also heard from Air Marshal today also is that how they are facing a certain issue with the ministry of after the helicopter accelerator cell. It was found, but I think it is little defunct now. I don't feel very good about it. So I'm not only going to revive it, but I'll go one step further. Whenever we have this separate set of operations that are required for these, we have a fixed wing separate directorate, we have a directorate for drones also. We see a lot of potential in drones. We have created a separate vertical and we have a directorate. And I am going to plan to have a dedicated directorate for helicopter services so that we can address these issues that the helicopters are facing through the ministry. They get a dedicated wing, dedicated team that addresses these issues. That is going to be in the plan that from the ministry we are going to do. And for ease of doing business and ease of flying, the ministry has also launched the Heli server portal, which many of them would be aware of, for obtaining landing requests digitally. So in my time, I also want to move most of the operations to digital this thing, so that we create more accountability, transparency, and we avoid unnecessary delay of time that originates from physical movement between the offices. So that is one thing that I would want to stress upon. And this Heli Seva portal is one good example where the clearances are obtained within 48 hours after applying in the system itself. And one other, through my 4 months of experience of being a civil aviation minister, I've seen that when it comes to the airports, when the helicopters have to take off from the airports, they actually have to wait until the air is clear so that the regular aircraft just flies off and they give a dedicated time. But whereas in some countries, they have mastered it where they have simultaneous operations. And we have the brains, we have the navigation services, the ATC, everyone is there who can parallelly manage them. The helicopter services can take a different route. The regular aircrafts who use the runway, they can take a different route. But I don't think it was thought upon before. But definitely, at least in the metropolitan cities where the both are simultaneously functioning, we want to create an approach where the helicopter services individually, without affecting the ATC or the navigation of the regular commercial flights or the scheduled operators, these take a different route. So that is one approach we are taking, and definitely I feel that we are going to be successful in the coming future, at least with the metropolitan city airports. This is going to encourage more people to take the helicopters. Otherwise, these are practical things. When they go to the airport and they want to take the helicopter, they're waiting near the chopper for 1 hour or 30 minutes saying that, oh, this flight is going, this flight is going. They have the route of way and all that. So this is some practical issues that we've encountered, and definitely we want to solve that. And the environment is conducive for the helicopter industry to take off. And I assure once again that complete support to the industry will be given from the Civil Aviation Ministry. We might look like we are the regulator, policy maker here, but we are also a stakeholder, like I've mentioned, because of the presence of Pawan Hans. We also have a lot to gain when this whole industry moves forward. So definitely as a partner, we are going to collaborate with all of you, and which is why I appreciate this seminar once again for taking up those crucial issues which we need to break the ceiling to ensure there is a proper growth for the helicopter services in the country. And I'm committed to ensure that Rotary Wing Aviation receives the attention and the support it deserves. I would once again commend RWSI for organizing this wonderful event. I would suggest that RWSI, one more thing is we are having this at the national level. One idea that I've observed is that the states are also coming up with their civil aviation departments. They are coming up with their civil aviation corporations who are actively looking at how to improve from the state itself how to expand on their aviation network. I've seen Madhya Pradesh where doing the air taxi, they have brought in a helicopter services for medical services, tourism. So states are also coming up innovatively. So whatever we are discussing at the ministry level or the national level or the government of India level, similarly smaller seminars or these kind of seminars can be done with the states itself, where the states also become a partner in this. I see a lot of potential when states also come on board. Things will be much more easier for us to facilitate. So definitely these kind of events need to percolate little bit more deeper near the states itself. So that is one suggestion I would want to give through this forum to the RWSI, to reach out to the states and encourage them to be in the process of the growth story for helicopters in this country. Many of the times, I'm seeing the aspirations of the people today have increased. What used to be before that, let's go to that place, let's see that place and enjoy that place in terms of tourism. Now people are feeling that not just going to the place, let's go in a chopper and see from the top how does it look. It could be a waterfall, it could be a gorge, it could be some monument. So the aspirations have increased. Now they're seeing that the India is growing so much that it's not just about going on road or rail, but we can go on air and also see all these locations. So we need to cater to these aspirations, and we collectively have a big responsibility. And I'm definitely going to be there in support of you in whatever best decisions we all need to take collectively. And in the end, for the collaborative approach that we are all taking, our Prime Minister famously advocates that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. That should be a guiding mantra for all of us together here, and with the government and the industry coming together. Once again, wish all the best, and my best wishes to each and every one of you that are here. And for the people who are taking the award of excellence today, my sincere congratulations to all the efforts that you have done and the wonderful career that you would have had over the last 30-40 years. Thank you very much. With this, I would like to end my speech. Jai Hind.